been coming to Mansfield Mind Body Spirit show since 2007 when healing was a new thing to me.
Yeah, I've been looking around and there's so many different stalls, lots of colours, lots of smells, lots of incredible people actually. It's been a really good experience to come and see and taste even some of the things that are on offer.
Well, hi, I'm Tazeen. You can call me Taz. Yes. It is my first time and I'm loving it. I'm just loving the whole experience. Favorite talk yesterday was the drumming experience. It was not exactly a talk, but the drumming experience was awesome. They heard May talk about fractals and sacred geometry, and that has just completely blown my mind. That has been very beautiful. And in the evening, are you eating to live or eating to die?
There's a lot of arrows all pointing in the same direction here with regards to food. It was December 2011. I was obese. I weighed 17 stone 3. It was about 7:30 in the morning and the phone rang and I picked up the phone and she said, it's the oncology department. She said, I just got your results through. She said, it's positive. She says, what, you mean it's okay? She says, no, man, it's positive. You have cancer. No one can prepare you for that conversation. You cannot begin to imagine what goes through your mind when you hear that. Archangel Metatron said to me through Jill, he said, tell Glenn no. Tell him to step back, take his time, research it, and then make a decision. And that's what I did. And I researched. And the same things kept coming up again and again and again. Diet, drink, lifestyle, chemicals, too much meat and dairy, too much alcohol.
That talk was pretty intense actually, and that is good.
So I've been coming to the Mansfield show on and off since goodness knows when, a long time ago, and it's always been a good show for us. Since my wife's business stopped operating, I've been making flutes like this one. Every once in a while I'll pop into this show and try to sell some flutes. It's always been a good place. It's got a good, vibrant feel to it, and I just really love coming here.
Lucy, my daughter Lucy. Yes, it's brilliant this year. Come every year, but it's brilliant this year. There's been some really good talks today.
Yeah, we haven't really had a break. We've just been in talk after talk.
Yeah.
But what was that? Our favourite one was
The
Anunnaki talk with.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
I've been coming to the Mansfield Mind, Body and Spirit show for several years now, and I've always found it a place where I can come to experience different therapies, different techniques, come to lots of really good quality talks by really excellent speakers who are very knowledgeable in their field.
I've always enjoyed coming to the talks with a notepad. I've always found the talks very inspiring.
I say every cell, every atom of your self is God. When you say, I don't say God is within you or Buddha is within you. You are Buddha. Stop it.
We've got what they call the protection bath salts. This is something you could make yourself as well if you wanted to. For example, we talked about rosemary, so you could add salt and rosemary to your bath water.
There was a crowd of 5,000 people. I was in the middle of them. He was a journalist. Then Mr. Grun was on the balcony. He spoke some words that we should open for this force, that we should stop to believe in the disease and stop to believe in the sorrows, get rid of them.
It's nice to learn a lot of, like, in little small doses. Each lecture's different and you learn so much all in one day. Like,
It's really nice.
My name's Ashley Mortimer. I'm from the Centre for Pagan Studies, Pagan Federation, Pagan Pride, Nottingham Pagan Network. I've been coming to the show for a good few years. I've supported the event. I think that some of the talks, particularly the speakers who have got things to say about the spiritual realms, are of great interest to pagans, and I'd urge other pagans to come and take part.
So having been coming to the shows for quite a number of years, I eventually got asked by Eric to come and do a talk. And he looked at me with these great big eyes. He had this great big fierce looking face. He wasn't handsome, he was really quite gnarly. And I heard a noise outside the forest that didn't sound very pleasant. And he turned and he roared, "Roar!" And this noise went away. And then it came back again a bit later, and he roared again at this noise outside the forest, these intruders who'd come to invade. And he roared again with this great big fierce roar, and he shook his shaggy head and he beat his shaggy chest, and then he went, and turned into the most beautiful, serene face, and he said to this little deer behind him, "It's all right, my loves, you'll be safe now," in the most gentle voice that I've ever heard. And in that moment, you could feel this tenderness and this love that he had for his creatures in the forest. And then he turned back to these invaders again with this fierce face, and he had this really lovely duality, the harsh nature of the warrior combined with the gentle characteristics of a loving father or a loving brother. It was just, whew. And I came out of this meditation thinking, wow. I've been a witch for over 25 years, and I've been doing talks and workshops across the East Midlands for some time. So it really felt like a great opportunity to come and share it with a wider audience. What people really want to know when they find out that witchcraft is real and where we are getting up to mischief is, A, do I dance naked in the woods? No! The other thing people tend to want to know is, do you cast spells? Well, that's kind of one of the points of being a witch. Yes, I cast spells. Do they work? Yeah, they do. And doing a talk at the show feels like coming home, or talking to people who are in my living room, because you get that sense of comfort and fulfilment from the participants who are there. There's always something that they can add to the conversation.
The process of making something, you bring something into the world. That's the magic. Well, the next stage of the magic is how you use that energy you brought into the world. You can use it for healing, you can use it for magic, and you have the choice.
Yeah, and it comes with a certain responsibility too. I can harness this energy and this magic, and I can do whatever I want with it. And being controlled and being considerate and being kind is sometimes a challenge. So we have a responsibility to use it wisely, and that's where the code of ethics comes in. One of the things that I always like to add on to the end of my spellcraft is, if this spell works for the good of all, so mote it be.
So, after all this time, I've actually ended up giving talks. Really excited about this particular group that we're doing today. I've been working up to it. I've actually been doing this meditation group for 3 years now, and I do, in heart of hearts, feel like this is part of my life's purpose, to offer this meditation. Mainly my childhood, growing up, living actually in Sherwood Forest. My father was a ranger there, so I lived there during my childhood, talking to the trees. I live and breathe Sherwood Forest. It's a big part of me. I feel like I'm part of it. It feels like a relative, and I feel like it's slowly been giving me this message, particularly whilst I was on holiday in Cornwall, and I was meditating at this beautiful stone circle. I actually felt like I was plugged into a tree at Sherwood Forest, and I had a bit of a vision about travelling through my life, travelling through the roots of the trees, up the trunk, up through the branches, and the heart energy coming out through the top of the tree, and spreading out through the forest, over Sherwood Forest, over Eglinstowe, and continued out within the waves. fun to be speaking here at Mansfield Mind, Body, Spirit Show. The people that come into the talks are, you just feel like a great sense of warmth, and I actually feel inspired, and there's always somebody that's got something interesting to add to enrich the talk as well.
My name's Glenn Harrison, and I've just been involved in 2 talks here today, one about archangel behaviour and the other one about are you eating to live or are you eating to die? I'm a messenger, a seed planter. My wife is Jill Harrison. She's an avatar, a level 12 medium, and she channels the angelic realm, and between the two of us we talk a lot and deliver messages and lessons from the angelic realm. But we also have another mission, and that's to combat this chronic disease and to get people to understand that what they're eating and drinking today is causing so much chronic disease, and how to reverse that. I've been to, on average, about 20-25 shows a year for the last 7 years, and I can honestly say, hand on heart, that Mansfield Mind, Body, Spirit Show is one of the best attended, best represented, as one of the best venues that we've ever attended. And if you're looking for a good day out or a weekend out with good speakers and good stalls to come in a nice environment, then I can highly recommend Mansfield Mind, Body, Spirit Show.
Had a really nice day, and I've got loads of crystals. All the crystals around all the stalls, collecting all different types of crystals. Crystal collecting.
That's cool. My favourite thing about the show is just the ambience, it's the feel. It's the way it feels so relaxed. It feels like a good place with good people.
The whole spiritual talk.
Yes,
definitely. Yeah,
particularly good.
So as well as sharing information, I get a lot from the talks myself.
I got a lot of enrichment from coming to the talks, and over those last 7 years I've gone through lots of changes in terms of where I am spiritually and healing, and there's always been a therapist or something on a stall that's been there for me on whatever level of the way I am at that point. So it's a really encouraging place to come if you're interested in healing and self-development.
All the stalls with their own little perspective on what they would like to bring into this world is beautiful.
I bought a big Buddha from here one year, and that's one of my prized possessions.
Favourite thing about the show, I think, for me, is just meeting new people and old friends, and making new friends, and just generally the vitality that's going on. It's a real place that's bubbling, and I really enjoy that.
And I've always found that the people I meet at these events are really wholesome, good people, the kind of people I want to be around and spend time with. So I'm very grateful every time I come here that, yay, there's another show!
I come to the show because I know a lot of people here, and it's an opportunity to see and meet them. And I always learn something from them, and I'm always introduced to somebody I've never met before who's got something new. So I always find that I go away having learned something I didn't know before.
Everybody's got a different experience, and this is a place to share. It really does feel like a community. It's lovely.
And the sense of community that May has described really is just a vibrant, almost like a family atmosphere. When you come to the shows and do a talk here, you get a lot out of it yourself, as well as being able to share your field of interest with other people.
It's always very energising. I always
really
feel
good,
energised when I leave. Very good.
I feel really good today.
Oh, I think it's a very beautiful space for people to connect and share and learn and dive deeper into their own selves and create a beautiful world. That's it.
Thank you.